Hello and welcome to my new moon forecast. We're talking about the Cancer new moon happening June 28th at 7:52 p.m. Now, before I begin, I have a really exciting announcement. I'm now doing astrology full time. What that means for you is that there are a lot more one-on-one sessions available on my calendar. I'm talking mornings, afternoons, nights, Monday through Friday. So if you want a one-on-one session with me, check my website down below. Also, I'm going to be offering, and I'm now offering 15-minute miniature readings. So for people who just want to kind of dip their toes into astrology or my process, that is also available to you. All you have to do is give me your birth info and I will upload a fully personalized 15-minute video breaking down your chart. So really excited to be doing this and to have you along for the ride. So let's get into the Cancer new moon. So first of all, as I go through, think about where Cancer is at in your chart. So what house does it fall in? That is where you're going to want to set intentions and kind of kickstart this new beginning. Now, Cancer, really the theme of this new moon is breaking out of your shell individually to fix a broken home. And I mean home in all senses. Your physical home, your family, your homeland. And the reason this is kind of about a breaking out or bursting forth is because it's squaring Jupiter in Aries. So Cancer as a sign is very insular. It's emotionally protective. It's represented by the crab. So where we have a Cancer new moon every year, people are reevaluating what makes me feel nurtured. Where are my roots? What constitutes my family? What is this sort of safe space and safe zone? With Jupiter and Aries squaring this, it's actually urging us to push outward and to expand our sense of home by bringing in more of the outside world. That's really what Jupiter excels at. And in Aries, there's actually a confidence to this. So that's like on an individual level, a confidence to leave the home, maybe to move homes. I actually would expect a lot of people to be moving at this time. And to even redefine or redelineate what is your family, who is your family. So a lot of people are really figuring out like who actually makes me feel nurtured, right? And for some, it's not necessarily their biological or their natal family. It's actually there is a new a new group of people that help you build that stability and that foundation and that really strong inner life. So otherwise, we also have Chiron and Aries at the 16th degree, which is a Cancerian degree. So for some people, I could see this as a time where there's just conflicts within families. And in the United States, this is a very significant time because the 4th of July holiday is coming up, and that's when a lot of families come together. But with the Jupiter square, I can see how there would be a ton of disagreements actually over really deeply rooted beliefs. And in the United States, especially right now, this is significant because Cancer deals with motherhood and the womb. And of course, we just recently had this disastrous overturning of Roe v. Wade that takes away a woman's right to choose. So that has ignited a ton of passion among groups of people who realize, this country is changing in a way that feels like irreversible and kind of scary. So a lot of people are charged up right now to go out there and vocalize their beliefs, to say, no, this was the wrong decision. We actually need to protect. We need to protect women's rights. Like this new moon is just going to kind of double down on these themes. Of course, we've seen demonstrations over the weekend, and I think with this new moon, it's actually going to create another wave of. It's going to continue. Those demonstrations are going to continue because Jupiter in Aries is very much an advocate of what it believes, but also what is fair and just. But with Aries, it's coming from a very personal perspective. So, like I said, it's not just about one group of people. It's about, and it's not even just about the United States, of course. This is a global transit, but there are a lot of the passions are flaring up here. And whenever you have water and fire in a square like that, it's very temperamental. It's very impulsive, and it just creates a lot of discord. So on this Cancer new moon, what I want you to do, again, is really evaluate and think about what is my relationship like to my family? What constitutes my family? And maybe on the plus side, is there an opportunity to repair some relationships with the family? Because Jupiter is ultimately a planet that deals with like tolerance and generosity. So it actually could be a time when maybe there's a 4th of July event where certain family members see the bigger picture of like, oh my gosh, like, we are in sort of a disastrous place, right? Like, we need to change. We need to amend things. And so I'm not just saying that this is purely strife and conflict. However, again, with Chiron at a Cancerian degree, that 16th degree, there's a sense of woundedness. And in the South Node in Scorpio, that even deals with like procreation. So I just see this theme, the theme of Roe v. Wade really continuing on. Otherwise, we have a Mars-Pluto square. This is creating this theme also of discord and conflict. Mars in Aries is very much a personal agenda. Pluto in Capricorn is a bureaucratic, hierarchical, towering system. So there's a sense here of like wanting to push back against the decrees and orders inherent to the system. So again, this gives me the energy of an increase in demonstrations. And cardinal energy, we have a ton of cardinal energy here, which is very decisive. So people are taking a stand at this point of like, again, this is what I want to advocate for, and I'm going to publicize that. I'm going to make that known. And that's especially, that's a pretty clear vector here, because there's a lot of Gemini placements as well with Venus and Mercury, meaning on the one hand, this could just be about, a lot of relationships and having conversations with new people in a positive way. But in this context, I do see that as an uptick in debates, political debates, philosophical debates, debates about what the facts are across communities, within families, on social media platforms. So, this is a busy week, and this whole lunar cycle is going to be incredibly hectic on social media, where everyone is going to want to throw their hat into the ring, and that's going to create a cacophony of perspectives that is very disharmonious, honestly. And then Neptune retrogrades right before the Cancer new moon, which I think is significant because now Uranus is the only outer planet that's direct. So all the momentum is with Uranus, and that is the planet pertaining to social reform and social activism. And it's kind of getting closer to that North Node, which is just putting that focus and sharpening the focus on this need for change. So it's really, and that is crescendoing towards the end of July and early August, when Uranus in the North Node can join. So I think at that point there will be these calls for progress, and that will be conjunct Mars as well. So with the Cancer new moon, it's really starting again insular though, of like what is my sense of family, and hopefully, of course, there's a healing energy there. But I sometimes I kind of hesitate to say that, because Aries is a very personal energy, and Mars in Aries, Jupiter in Aries, Chiron in Aries, it's kind of like everyone kind of feels like they're on their own island, and in some way they're fragmented. So this could actually be about the breakdown of certain family units, which is not something you want to see, of course, because we want to uphold the social fabric in some way. However, with Pluto kind of nearing the end of this Capricorn, it's passed through Capricorn, it does feel like a slow dismantling of some structures still. We still have to go through some of that. But eventually, I think, once Pluto enters Aquarius and Uranus, again, continues to march forward, eventually I think people will move beyond dualities of like us versus them. We'll sort of eventually get out of the, Mars will leave Aries soon enough. So I think we'll get to a place where the chaos starts to settle and people realize, okay, we're actually invested in hopefully, progress through elevating our consciousness and again, transcending duality. Because duality keeps people in this sort of doom loop of again, us versus them. It's very focused on conflict. Who is my enemy? But I think Uranus is helping us to realize that we exist within a vibratory field and a field of energy, which is the cosmic glue, really. So it's going to land us in, I think, a good place. I think we're actually on the cusp of another age of enlightenment in a lot of ways. But right now, we're seeing that slow decay and dismantling of systems. But globally speaking, the Jupiter square to Cancer, this could be a redrawing of borders within certain countries. Again, a redrawing of family lines, and then again, shifting your sense of family elsewhere. Jupiter even deals with the law, so people could be advocating for new laws, beliefs. Again, what needs to be amended in all, and again in these sort of legal contexts. And then keep in mind we have a full moon in this cycle in Capricorn, pretty much conjunct to Pluto, and the full moon in Capricorn is, shining a light on those systems, and near Pluto, the systems that need to be transformed and changed. So I think the seeds being planted here in Cancer, and there is certainly going to be a fair amount of turbulence within these sort of family units. But with Jupiter here, it's like, again, what do you want to change, and how do you want to expand your sense of home, and really sort of again, create a different sort of framework that supports eventually this Uranian breakthrough. So I mean, it's almost like, in a lot of ways, the breakdown before the breakthrough, but it all starts with this motivation and this Aries energy. Fire is very incredibly motivating, so people are motivated to finally to create that change. So thank you so much for listening in. I'm going to be, like I said, now that I'm doing this full time, I will have more content, and look out for my next video on the full moon in Capricorn. So thank you so much.